What's up, y'all? Tis your boy Dreaded Don here, back again, bringing y'all some more games of the month, man. I'm kind of getting used to doing that. I'm happy doing it. So, anyways, November doesn't have a whole lot of games for us to get into, but I grabbed what I could, and I thought I'd show you guys what I got. So let's get on right into it. First on the list, man, it's Drova, and I gotta be honest. It doesn't come out next month. It's already out. If you want to go check it out, it's an action RPG based around a Celtic mythology, and that alone, it just grabbed my attention. As I was scrolling through my Steam page, I saw it at the corner of my eye. I was like, oh, what is that? What is that game right there? That's doing a little something. Now it does have an 8-bit. I always say 8-bit, but it's a bit style graphics, right? So if you're not interested in that, you completely get it. But if you're willing to look past it and you want another game that's a lot like Baldur's Gate, and as far as its narrative style and letting you make different choices in the world, that's going to affect the world, the factions, the character progression, along with the visual progression of said character. It looks like it goes double chef's kiss, you know what I mean? Hand in hand with each other. And it just looks like one of those games that you look like you could think about 40, 60. If you really wanted to get into the min-maxing of it, maybe even 100 hours into the game, if you wanted to go through and 100% it. It just looks like one of those games that you could sink your teeth into and sit down and enjoy, man. So I had to put it on the list, make it one of those titles that even though it's not coming out next month, it's going to be one of the ones you could play right at the beginning of next month. Given that we just don't have a lot of games coming out next month, we just don't, not that we don't have a lot, we just don't have the same volume that we had coming out at the beginning of this year. Like, we was getting hit hard at the beginning of this year, right? But along the games that are coming out next month, we got Mario and Luigi Brothership. Pretty savvy. In my opinion, it's cool. It's cool when a Mario game drops. I played Super Mario Sunshine. It was cool. I loved it. It was great. But Luigi, that's my boy. That's the star of the show. That's the guy right there. All points aside, man. Mario and Luigi Brothership, they plan to go back to some formulas. If you're familiar with it, Super Mario RPG, they're gonna go back to some turn-based combat. Love it. I love turn-based combat. It's great. can never go wrong with it for me. You're also gonna be able to use both of the brothers to combo attack enemies. Have Luigi toss Mario up. Mario bounces off the enemy, bounces back to Luigi. Luigi tosses him back for another flip. Some cool stuff like that. I thought it was pretty cool when I first saw it. It's one of the things that made me want to get the game. Outside of the combat, you're also gonna be able to use the brothers to traverse the map in different ways. Obviously, you'll probably be able to pick up some of the power-ups to help you traverse the map as well. Just a good old adventure to enjoy, if you want to go back to a Mario and Luigi game. Just kind of be a little comfy right at the beginning of the month. You know what I mean? The game drops on November 7th, so it's hard not to pick it up and be like, let me enjoy this little comfy title and just chill out for a little bit. Next up, man, we got a lengthy title. It's one to say, right? It's Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. That one is coming out about 2 weeks into November on the 14th. Man, I gotta be honest. Again, I wasn't really a Dragon Quest kid growing up. I played a lot more Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII, Final Fantasy XI. Those were more along my lines. But when I did actually hop into Dragon Quest, it was on Dragon Quest VIII, and that game was chef's kiss once again. Just phenomenal, man. And so whenever I see, the older versions of the games getting remastered, like Final Fantasy, the older games, it's getting remastered. When Dragon Quest it starts getting its older remastered, it always makes me want to just hop back in and enjoy the nostalgia that the people that put me on the genre enjoyed. You know what I mean? My cousin just putting me on Final Fantasy. I'm like, man, let me see what you enjoy. Let me see why you enjoyed these games so much and what really pulled you in, right? Now, what they're looking to do with the remake on this one this time around is just crazy. They're taking it from the whole 2D all the way up to it looks like something that's in comparison with Octopath Traveler, in my opinion. It's crazy how well they scaled the graphic fidelity up for these older games. And I want it makes me want every single older game to get this treatment done to it. Not only did they scale up the visual components of the game, but they also added voice acting to it, just to add to a little bit of the immersion. They gave you an entirely new class, the Monster Wrangler, which allows you to have wide range AoE and use monster ability. That's pretty savvy. They also have given you the Monster Arena, so that looks even more fleshed out. We can go and capture monster, just like in Monster Hunter's Jokers, if you played that. It looks like what they're doing with this remake is going to be top tier. Game comes out November the 14th. If you're looking to pick it up, I don't see why not. Next up on the list, nearing kind of the end of the month, you know, fairly end of the month, is Stalker 2. Now, I haven't heard a lot about it, but this IP has gotten crazy hype, and that's all I've heard about. That's my best knowledge of the of the IP. But just of looking at it, it reminds me a lot of Metro Exodus, and I hear a lot of my friends tell me that's exactly what the Metro took its inspiration from, is Stalker 2. And the real difference that I see, honestly, is that Stalker 2 looks like it's a complete survival horror action game. Whereas Metro seems like it was just more action horror, you know, not even horror, really, just really a more action title, if I'm being honest. Which makes sense, because the devs for Stalker 2 said they're planning to create this open, huge open area that's going to have consistent danger, keep you on the edge of your seat, and always have you facing a different type of fear. Now, hey, I don't like horror, but I'm one for a thriller. They also said that they're going to be adding PvP to the game, which is pretty cool. You know, team deathmatch, adding that in, super savvy. Especially if we can get anything like The Last of Us that we used to have. Man, The Last of Us PvP used to be so good. I digress. Anyways, Stalker 2 is dropping on the 20th of November, if you want to pick that one up as well. Now, the remaining games on the list are split between early access titles as well as just my honorable mentions that I feel like aren't as notable, but I had to put them on because they're going to be the ones I'm probably going to be playing the most, right? And just starting off with the early access ones, we got Brighter Shores, man. Coming straight from the creator of RuneScape, an MMO that holds a place so near and so dear to so many of us. It got us started. It put us on our path. Oh, anyways, this looks like it's going to be a big brother to that. And not like it's going to be aiming to take its role or it's going to be the direct successor to it. But nonetheless, it's still going to provide the grinding aspects and the ever-expanding world choice that, while still allowing for a high amount of immersion and simplicity during your experience. They plan on having a grid-based world and point-to-click combat. I really don't know how much simpler you can get than that. The game plans on being launched into its early access on November 6th. It is going to be free to play, but you can also pay to have a little premium access. Like if you're used to stuff like on RuneScape, same type of concept, or even ESO, how you pay for the ESO Plus membership. Another title coming to early access, man, is Towers of Aaspa. And yeah, I hold true to the statement I said when I first saw it. It definitely reminds me of Shadow of the Colossus mixed with, you know, Breath of the Wild with a little bit of Stardew Valley sprinkled in there. And that's just because mainly, you know, it looks like you're going to be a settlement builder that's based around fighting these giant withered. And whenever you see the glider, it always kind of reminds you of Breath of the Wild, right? Essentially, your task is going to be returning all of the life back to your land, taking out the withered giants, and ensuring the prosper of your settlement. I'm honestly just interested in this game because I always love seeing the type of spins that they're able to put on this type of genre. And if it's a good enough spin, you know, might as well dip my toes into it and give it a go. Towers of Aaspa is set to release on November the 19th. Now, next up on the list is Path of Exile 2. It was set to have its early access on the 15th, but as of making this video, man, it has been delayed to December the 6th. The studio and the devs are saying that they don't have enough to implement all of the ability to pull everything that from your purchases, like your stash tab, your cosmetics, everything from the first game over into the second. It's a lot of data. For instance, he just said, like, you know, how many names get corrupted, how many names get lost. It's understandable. It's completely understandable, and they look like it was heartbreaking for them to have to delay the game for about 3 weeks. It does suck, but in the same regards, it also gives us kind of a break to play out a couple other games. You know, you're not so stretched thin to just be trying to play, you know, a few games that you can actually fit into that small space between now and Path of Exile releasing. honestly, it really kind of gives you the space to try out, you know, if you're thinking about it or if you're interested, that Monster Hunter Wilds. Yes, yes, the beta. The beta is going from the 28th still all the way to November 3rd. So even if it's gonna go all the way to the beginning of November, so even then, you'll still have a chance to stretch your toes into other games all the way until Path of Exile. So I feel like that's a warm treat and a warm welcome for us to really give us some more to chew down on, right? That's gonna be all I got for the early access part of it, should it to say, you know? But as far as honorable mentions go, the number one that we got going is Tetris. Now, I always saw Tetris as just a way to competitively whoop someone's ass in organization skills. Tetris Forever is actually planning to do that through the eras, I guess you could say, right? They're gonna incorporate all of the best Tetris games all into one spot, allow you to play them all right there, and they're also gonna include a new game mode where you can actually play them all seamlessly, right? The new game mode is called Time Warp. What you're gonna be doing is they're gonna have a little Tetris block. It's gonna drop down once you level up, you know, which is clearing 10 lines. Once you clear 10 lines, you'll be transported to that era in time, and then you'll be given a challenge in 20 seconds to clear that challenge in order to be transported back to your own era. I thought that was pretty cool. They added that so it also plays more into playing with your friends. So if you say you're playing with some friends, you can lock them into a certain era. So now they can't send over blocks to your side. They can't do any of that, or they can't even transport you into the other era unless, you know, they get out theirs first. I thought that's pretty cool. Adds little tactics onto it. Tetris Forever is going to be dropping on November the 12th. Woo! You know how long I've been waiting for this. It's 9 souls. I've been waiting for this one to come to console for so long. I could have played it on Steam. I could have, but I wanted to get my hands on the controller so I could actually play this game because I know I would be so much better on the controller. Oh, okay. Anyways. This game, just on hype alone, it makes the list. It makes the list for me. It is a Metroidvania that has combat inspired on second row. Knowing that you can play as a cat. I love cats, you know, I got my nigga Goose with me, you know, he sleep. But anyway, hey, I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. Honestly, I really don't have much to say. If you made it this far to the video, I have this game on my honorable mentions just because, like, on hype alone, I want to play it so bad. I thought I want to tell you guys about it. Like, if you look at the game, look at the gameplay. Look, it's great. It's good. It's hard not to like, right? Okay, that's it. That's all I really got to say. That's all I really got to say. 9 souls dropping November 26th. Man, that's going to be all of my games for the month of November. Of course, as always, if you got any that I don't know, leave them down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And always sub for more of my info. Other than that, I'll catch you guys on the horizon. Deuces.